Good day, fellow observers. Today we are going to do a get out of New York test for version 12.5.4.1. So we are headed to American Dream Mall, and it's gonna be an hour and 6-minute drive, 23 miles. Let me activate FSD. Okay, so we are parked by the hydrant, and now we are moving. And we are making a right here on stop. Okay, good. Okay, good. And we are here at an all-way. Okay. So we will go straight here. We just had a green light. Okay, will we make it? Yeah, okay, we'll make it. FSD usually goes for that. And now we are at an all-way. Okay, we're having another all-way here. So I think it was our right of way, but because we stopped, I think the Jeep was thinking it can go. Okay, so I almost took a break, but FSD was able to adjust there, so that was good. Although it pulled the brakes right in front of the car, so I'm not sure if that's a blind spot. Like, the camera is right here, so maybe there's no way to see it. I'm not sure. But what do you guys think? Please drop a comment down below.
500 feet, turn right to take the Interstate 295 North ramp.
So now we are at a last all-way, and then we turn right at the stop.
Now turn right to take the Interstate 295 North ramp.
Okay, so here is a stop, and FSD I think takes a bit of time here. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Then I think we have a window here. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, then now we head to the ramp. Okay, good merge. Okay, good lane change here. We have a lot of space. Okay. Okay, good. The car behind us kind of gave some space. It didn't accelerate when it saw our left turn signal. Okay, I'm gonna increase my speed here because we are not flowing with the traffic, and I feel like I'm holding the cars behind me. So there are 2 cars behind me and counting. Okay, so we are now approaching Throggs Neck Bridge, going to the Bronx. Slowdown here.
In 1 mile, keep left to stay on Interstate 295 north toward Interstate 95 south.
Okay, so we're passing through the toll collection.
Now keep left to stay on Interstate 295 north.
Okay, this is what I kind of hope that hopefully in the future FSD is gonna be able to avoid those drainage grills, but that's just me. I don't know if anyone wants the same. If you have that preference, let me know, because I think I feel like I might just be the only one who wants to avoid these. So I'm gonna increase.
In 1,000 feet, keep left to stay on Interstate 295 north toward Interstate 95 south.
So I just increased the speed again just to match the flow of traffic on this
Now
passing
keep
lane.
left to stay on Interstate 295 north.
Okay, so I'm seeing that we are, nope, never mind. I decreased the speed and put it back up the same way, the same number. Okay, so now we're slowing down here. Yeah. Okay, so I have to adjust it again, so I decreased it. So the traffic starts here now. Okay, good adjustment here for this merging SUV. I think there is a road work up ahead on the exit 5A ramp. Is this the cause? I'm not sure, so we'll find out more. Okay, so we're approaching an underpass. Let's see if camera occlusion error is gonna kick in. Because in the last get out of New York test for the prior version, that error got triggered on dark environments like the underpasses. Okay, so no error so far. So there are several looks that we're gonna get about this, and let's see if we generate that error. Okay, so we have one or more cameras occluded. So we had a brief notice, but it disappeared right away. Okay, so I think FSD is giving way for this merging SUV. It's slowing down its advance. Okay, good. Okay, so we have one or more cameras. Multiple cameras blocked or blinded. Side cameras occluded. One or more side cameras occluded. So this is very, what do you call this? I think the cameras are sensitive. So I think this is the second error that we have. Okay, we just gone through underpass and there's no error for that. So just want to point that out. It's not every underpass. I guess it depends on how dark is it. Alright, so my camera died and it was able to repair the files. So we're back here again. It didn't miss anything. It's just that we went straight through this highway. It was all traffic. Nothing significant apart from it advancing. So on the upper level of George Washington Bridge, it's only one lane that's open. Now that would mean more delays, but our ETA still stands at 35 minutes, so I don't think there was a change. So let's see. Okay, so now we are making a lane change here, but I've got to be careful. Okay, so I think it's a postponed one. So it's about that time that we are making lane changes because we're going to exit in 1.1 miles. So you can see here FSD is thinking of making a lane change. Okay, it should be able to. Okay, good.
In 1 mile, keep right to take exit 1A onto Interstate 95 South, US 1 South.
Okay, so we are making a lane change, but it's postponed. Oh, I think it's still thinking of doing it. Okay, so we have another postponement. Let's see. Okay, good. Shout out to that car that gave way. So now we are in position to exit 1A, but as you can see, there are vehicles from the right side. There's a ramp going into our lane. So in the next mile or so, FSD will have to adjust for cars going in and out of its lane.
Now keep right to take exit 1A.
Okay, so there's not much of an adjustment there. It was all straightforward.
In 1,000 feet, keep left to take Interstate 95 South, US 1 South toward New Jersey. Now keep left to take Interstate 95 South.
So now we are going to George Washington Bridge, and we have a poor GPS accuracy starting. Usually it's still at the middle of the bridge. Now in my prior version testing of this route, I mean going back to New York, FSD actually prompted me to take over. So let's see what we have for this case. Okay, good, tracing the lanes here. Okay, now we make a lane change, good. Okay, we're going to the passing lane, good.
In 1 mile, bear right to stay on Interstate 95 South, then bear right to stay on Interstate 95 South.
So now we're getting poor GPS location accuracy again. Okay, this is the usual spot where it gets it. And then once we go on the New Jersey side, then it disappears. Okay, good, slow down here. Okay, take over immediately again. So this is the second time that it prompted me to do it. The first time was in get into New York test for version 12.5.4, and now for get out of New York test for 12.5.4.1. Now let me activate FSD again. Okay, now we are making a lane change. Okay, good. And the GPS accuracy issue is gone. And now we will start crisscrossing the ramps here. And usually if there's no GPS issue, FSD is able to navigate through this pretty well.
Now bear right to stay on Interstate 95 South. Now bear right to stay on Interstate 95 South.
Okay, good.
In 500 feet, keep right to take Interstate 95 South toward Hackensack. Now keep right to take Interstate 95 South.
Okay, so let me adjust the speed now, because the traffic here is moving fast. 12 minutes away, 7.6 miles. Okay, FSD slowed down a bit
In 1
because
mile, keep left to stay on Interstate 95 south toward Newark.
it thought that the SUV on the middle lane is going to its lane. Okay, good adjustment here for this merging truck.
Now keep left to stay on Interstate 95 south. In 1 mile, keep left to take Interstate 95 toward 16 west.
So just a travel update, we are 9 minutes away, 4.4 miles. Okay, good lane change here.
Now keep left to take Interstate 95.
Okay, good adjustment here. Well, not really adjustment because the lines, okay, it still sees the lines, even though the road doesn't have lines at this section, but right up ahead you have the lines back.
In 1 mile, keep right to take exit 19W toward Meadowlands complex.
So I'm waiting for when FSD will make the lane change, but we'll have enough room because there's a truck right behind and it's a bit on the slow side. So anytime FSD can do this lane change now. Okay, good. Okay, FSD's going for the rightmost lane. Now making a lane change to the off-ramp.
Now keep right to take exit 19W.
So we have this toll collection here. Okay, so now we are going to the rightmost lane.
In 1,000 feet, turn left to stay on Meadowlands Sports Complex.
Okay, good adjustment here by FSD. Slowing down further because of the truck that might go over to our lane.
Now turn left to stay on Meadowlands Sports Complex. Now keep left to take Meadowlands Sports Complex.
So we are here. I'll just disengage right after this light. Now we have a green. it's not gonna stop. I was about to disengage, but I'm gonna do it now. And let me give my takeaways. So we started off from Bayside, Queens. It was able to move out of the double park state. Not really, it was parked by the hydrant, was able to move forward, made a right on stop. It was an easy case. There were no oncoming vehicles, and we crossed an all-way, which was good, and then a light, and then we crossed several all-ways actually, and they were good. The thing is, in a section of that, there was this car that was waiting to merge to our lane from a parking lot, and I felt that FSD and myself also, I've seen it, but not as early as...
In 500 feet, your destination will be on the right.
Not as earlier... Wait, no. I think I've seen it. I was just waiting for what FSD will do, but the thing is, during those cases, FSD stopped, but it stopped right in front of the car that was about to turn. So that's something that I just want to point out, because, you know, those kind of blind spot cases, it may or may not be, what do you call this? It may or may not be noticed by FSD, but when it notices it, it's gonna be a bit on the later side. So that's more of an FYI. And then we passed several all-way stops again, and then we made a right towards the service road for Clearview Expressway on stop, and so it was able to do that, no problem. And it was able to go through Throggs Neck Bridge and then pass through, I think that was Cross Bronx Expressway to I-95 South. Now on the drive towards George Washington Bridge, right after Throggs Neck Bridge, I had to do a human intervention of adjusting the speed limit, increase it and then decrease it again. Once I saw that the lane that FSD was on, which was on the passing lane, that the speed there of the cars are not faster than the usual speed. So those were my adjustments to that. And then FSD stayed for the most part on the passing lane, and then did some very good lane changes towards the rightmost lane to exit 1A towards George Washington Bridge's lower deck. And in there, FSD was able to navigate and adjust to traffic and made several lane changes. So it went to, once it was on George Washington Bridge lower deck, it made several lane changes. But the thing is, oh, actually I pointed this one out. I haven't pointed it out before. I'll go back to George Washington Bridge. So going to George Washington Bridge, right, we had generated the cases for the cameras being occluded. It happened several times as FSD went through the underpasses. Okay, so now going back to George Washington Bridge, there was that point where we had one early GPS location accuracy issue, and it wasn't on the middle part of the bridge. It was right as FSD started crossing George Washington Bridge. So in that instance, FSD prompted me to take over, and so I took over and then drove for a little bit and re-engaged it. Now once we're back on the FSD side of things, getting it reactivated, FSD made several lane changes, and FSD was able to crisscross through the New Jersey side going to the right exits, and it didn't get lost so long as GPS is accurate. And then FSD was able to adjust through traffic. The thing is though, I did some human intervention there of increasing the speed just to go with the flow of the traffic speed on the passing lane, because FSD was on the passing lane, and then it was able to find its way to the proper exits. And actually FSD was able to make it here and made the lane changes on exit. It did well on there, and also the cases that we have for lane changing, I think they were pretty much not on the hectic side. It was able to find enough room for it, so that was good. And I think, yeah, for this test I didn't have any disengages, and I think it was a reasonable drive. And so we arrived here, I disengaged, and I think it was good. So those are all my takeaways for this test, and if you find this video helpful or of value, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!